Hello, everybody. Claire is your host today, along with Emperor, my co host. This debate will be hosted by us. We would like to extend a warm greeting to all of the hardworking members of both sides, the judge, and our lovely audience who will be watching us closely during this discussion. Team A will support the death penalty imprisonment, whereas Team B will support rehabilitation retribution. We all lose and win at some point in our lives. What important is that you guys will have a fruitful discussion. We are here to learn something new, so I'm confident that we will learn something useful, and I hope that those who've listened to this debate will change their minds about these matters. People got different perspectives, so I'm sure they will get to know about facts, truth today, so they will change their perspectives if they need to. My co-host will now go over all of the debate rules and regulations. I would like you all to take close attention. All the very best. Thank you. Emperor, over to you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Claire. There was a good welcome by your side. And now I will be informing you guys some rules that you guys have to abide to. And I will try to keep it concise and simple, right? So this is how the debate is gonna work. First of all, me and Claire will be announcing a team member each from our team at once. And the member from team A will be expressing his views. He'll be getting 3 minutes and he can express all his constructive speech in that time. And after he's done, the member of team B, which I have selected, will mention his counterpoints or his disagreement, and he'll be given 1 minute for that. And he can end up with a question, and the question will be answered by the member of the team A respectively, and he or she will be given 1 minute for that, and vice versa. Again, the member I have announced from team B will be getting 3 minutes, and he can express his assertion or constructive speech in that given time, and questions or counterpoints will be given by the member from team A, and it will be answered by team B member respectively. So the rules can be a little confusing for now, but you guys will get the hang of it when it actually moves on. This is the rule for round one, and the further rules of round two will be mentioned by me when we are about to start that round two itself. And the rest of the is the general rules, which is very important, which is like you are not allowed to use some abusive words, or you are not allowed to embarrass someone, and those are the basic rules that you guys have to abide to, and that is pretty much. And yeah, without any further delay, we can straight dive into it. So over to you, Mia.
As the name implies, I'm confident that this individual will try his best. So I would want to invite Mr. Thakurakan Pratap Singh to come and put a flash and offer his thoughts on the subject.
And from my side, I would love to call upon Devendra Pal to enlighten us by his views. So first of all, Thakur, you can start with your constructive speech, and you have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you for giving me such wonderful opportunity for presenting my views in front of you. So I am favoring the topic which is known as death penalty and life imprisonment should be awarded to offender whenever he also do any kind of a serious crime named as heinous crime, and that is the essential things which we will have to do for the name of a justice, equity, and good conscience. Why it is needed for a person? Because somehow we also knows about it. Sometimes there is a person in the society who actually do lot of crimes which come into the category of heinous ones, and if they also get any kind of, if they also do these kind of a things which also affect the society, which also affect the mindset of a people. So these are the punishment like life imprisonment and death penalty were also given to the judges. They can also award it through through Article 72 and 162 of Constitution, and IPC's sections regarding 53, 55, and 57. The kind of a punishment will also available in that, where there are the punishment which in terms of death penalty, rigorous punishment, life imprisonment. These are the punishment which can be awarded to a person who actually did the highest level of a crime. So that is the thing which is to be avoided. Now, I would like to say something about this with respect to this, like why it is needed for the betterment of a society. There are certain cases which you also knows about it from the Bachchan Singh versus State of Punjab. There is a thing which there is a judgment which was passed by the Supreme Court where he also called it the it can be, I mean, death penalty can be awarded in rarest of rare cases. So somehow it is needed because the habitual offenders who often do that kind of a crimes will also create some kind of a panicness in the normal or innocent citizens who are actually living in the society for maintaining the decorum of the society. So that is the reason due to which sometimes capital punishment and more or less it depend upon the president or governor. They can also commute or remit the level of a punishment up to life imprisonment up to 14 years or 20 years. It depends upon the condition and facts and circumstances. They can also reduce out this punishment, but it is mandatory for giving that kind of a punishment until and unless there is a special proviso which or there is a amendment which can also add into this. So yeah, that's it from my side.
Okay, so now Devendra Pal, you have your 1 minute to place your disagreement and you can end up with a question. You have 1 minute.
I would like to switch to other teammates if they want to counter. Anyone from my team?
I would like to cross. Yeah. Hello, are you
Okay.
active, Thakur?
Active man.
Yeah,
Yep.
you have 1 minute, Shub.
So you,
Yeah.
okay. So as he mentioned about the heinous crime, right? So what about the crimes which are not, no, being like predicted by the court? And what about the
So
crimes which are not being like there are some exceptions case, right? So like heinous crime you mentioned. And one now my question is, if death penalty is too good, then why only 56 country out of like 200 country approximate are going? And exactly 108 countries are abolished. No, they are just rectified. We can say that they have removed that thing particular. Only 56 countries are following. So can you tell why this ratio? Why these countries are not taking death penalty as the priority? Yeah.
okay, so why the 56 countries were never give that penalty to the citizens? There is a simple reason behind it. Because at their, at there is a penal code which is also having a
Thakur,
provisions.
they are
Yeah.
56 countries are giving death penalty. I'm
Yeah,
saying
I'm
that.
saying
Yeah. Mhm.
56 countries are giving the death penalty because of a simple reason. As you also knows about it, it is the highest penalty which is offering to the offender. And you know about it, there is a Article 21, which also give us. I mean, there is a right which also provides to the citizen of our country, that is the right to life. So you can't deprive any person from the right to life. So that is the reason due to which they can also give in rarest of rare cases, and not any cases. They can also consider about the facts, circumstances, even witnesses, testimony, and sometimes they also needed some kind of evidence, which in terms of any witnesses,
Mhm.
in terms of eyewitnesses, in terms of documentary evidence, in terms of circumstantial evidence. So
Thakur.
these are the
Yeah.
things.
The question was why
Okay,
108
yeah, we
member
are done
108
on
countries are not giving,
time.
and you are telling they're
Exactly.
giving, right?
Okay. Yeah, we are done on
Yeah. No,
time.
no problem.
Now, yeah. So, Devendra, you can start with your view. You have got 3 minutes.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. So my topic is on rehabilitation and retribution. So yeah, let's begin. I want to start with a quote which is by Abraham Lincoln. Laws without enforcement are just good advice. So it's necessary to implement laws so that it can deter any person from wrongdoings. Now, the purpose of punishment. The primary purpose of criminal law is punishment. Through the enforcement of criminal law, society seeks to hold offenders accountable for their individual misdeeds, protect society, and change future behavior. Criminal punishment seeks to balance these competing principles. On one hand, the idea of reformation, the offender should be reformed and rehabilitated. On the other hand, society has a vested responsibility to protect the public. These twin goals are constantly in conflict. So let me define what exactly is rehabilitation. Rehabilitation seeks to prevent future crime by reforming a defendant's behavior. Examples of rehabilitation can include educational and vocational programs, treatment center placement, and counseling. The court frequently combines rehabilitation with incarceration or with probation or parole. Offenders must participate in rehabilitative program in combination with probation or in addition to or instead of incarceration. Alaska Therapeutic Court is an example of a criminal sanction that primarily focuses on rehabilitation. Therapeutic courts can operate as an alternative to traditional incarceration and effectively lower recidivism. Recidivism means to lower the future crime of that person. Now talking about retribution. Retribution seeks to prevent future crime by demanding a sanction against the defendant regardless of its rehabilitative impact. When victims or society discover that the defendant has been adequately punished for a crime, they may achieve a certain satisfaction that our criminal justice system is working effectively. Retributive theory seeks to enhance society's overall faith in the criminal justice system by eliminating the desire for
20.
personal avengement. Okay, so we can say that in the form of vigilant justice, for example. Retribution seeks to ensure offenders receive a punishment comparable to the seriousness of the underlying crime. There is one example which has been taken. I want to give that has been taken maturely. Shri Asim Datta alias Nilu versus State of West Bengal. In this case, the both deterrent and retributive punishment aim at prevention of the recurrence of the offences by others passing exemplary punishment for a particular offence. But there is an advancement of
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. So Thakur, you have 1 minute to like place your disagreements regarding his view, or you can choose anyone to counter. Your choice.
Okay, I want to
You
ask
wish to.
few questions from him, like the way you said earlier about it, the retribution, and I mean it also indicates about the reformation of a prisoner. So I have a single question, only single question. So did you also provide any kind of a guarantee if that person will also not do that kind of a crime again? Because I am not agree with that. If a person is also doing any kind of a crime again, he can't do that kind of a crime again and again. Somehow there is a definite punishment, and serious punishment will also be given to that offender, so at least many of the society's people will also take a lot of lessons from this person. So might be I'm not agree with that. Sometimes it's needed, but many times it's not needed. So you can give me the real answer of it.
Okay, so you are talking about the retribution, right? So I didn't able to complete my example of retribution. It is has been taken maturely actually. So let me just go with that. So if you know that Shri Asim Datta alias Nilu versus State of West Bengal case, in this case it was observed that both deterrent and retributive punishment aim at prevention of the recurrences of the offences by others passing exemplary punishment for a particular offense. But the civilization and the societies are progressing rapidly. There is advancement of science and technology, and the literate people and the experts in different branches of knowledge started thinking in a different way in that case. So for eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth are no more considered as the correct approach towards this towards the criminal. Such
So that is the
principle may
reason. That is the reason. There is a concept behind it.
Okay.
Eye
I
is
done on
eye for
that.
tooth for a tooth. Then what is
Thakur,
the need of a justice?
we have
actually
actually.
such principle.
Oh, Devendra.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You can save it up later for round two. So, how was it, Mia? Like, actually, he proved that we are the nightmare which are gonna cloud your hope of victory. What do you think? Okay, I guess she's not available at the moment. So next on, I'll be calling Shub from my team to express his remarkable points regarding the side we have chosen. And what about you, Claire?
Yeah, I'll be calling Shanchan. Shanchan, are you there? Shanchan?
Okay, if she is not available, you can switch on to another candidate.
Hold on a minute. Okay, Christian, are you there? Kishan.
Actually, I'm here. Yeah.
Wait,
Okay,
someone, she was on mute mode, sorry.
Chintan is audible now.
Yeah, someone unmute me.
Okay, Krishna, you can hold on. Sinchan, you there? Okay. So Shub,
Okay.
I'm there.
Yeah.
hello Shub.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you
I'm
have
there.
3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to express your views. Your time starts now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. From my death penalty and life
And
imprisonment.
hold on. Shub, you there? You have to start.
Okay, okay, thank you. Yeah. The hope of the world lies in the rehabilitation of the living human being, not just with the body, but with the soul also. Good evening, all. This is Shub. Today, I'm going to share my views on the motion rehabilitation and retribution. So, basically, how it started. So, as my friend Devendra already mentioned about rehabilitation, so I would like to focus on criminal rehabilitation. Particularly, it means the prisoner who are in the particular prison and need to be recovered from back to their particular life. So they can they can be drug addict or alcohol, like they are alcoholic also. So there are many points which I would like to share. How these points are related to big crimes, like someone like Thakur mentioned, heinous crimes and all. So I would like to focus. So the first point is nature versus nurture. How it is useful, like criminal rehabilitation based on the something that idea aren't like inherently bad, means basically what I'm saying, that does not come from your birth. Suppose the baby is born, he is not a criminal, right? The things how he learns with the his environment, how his parenting is, how his friends are. So I would like to prove also with my points. So this was the like main case, like the newborn baby, we can't judge that he will become a criminal, right? So studies have also shown the environment that makes them influence about that thing. So alcohol, yeah, alcohol and drugs. How how alcohol and drugs, 80% of the cases before doing any heinous crimes and all, 80% are the victim of this alcohol or drugs. If you can see the worst case also, you can find the same case. And talking about the poverty, um, so poverty, like the people who are not able to get educated properly, they're not able to find job also because of then they do this thief and stole the point, like anything they can stole, and then they have to go to the prison and all. So this is the point. Bad parenting, I already mentioned. If the parenting is not good, he can or she can join the particular gang, or then he will be in particular criminal cases. Mental illness, that's the also point. The people are called psycho. They're the most one who do it. So we have to focus their particular bipolar disorder also, and it can affect the personality disorder, and that can hit into a particular crime. Lack of education, lack of quality education, basically, because education play, if he does not have a moral values and ethics, he can commit a good crime also, and it is not good for our human society. So basically, what I mean, rehabilitation play an important role. We should focus on, suppose if a person there's something doing heinous crimes and all, yeah, so he can recover from it and do good things for society. It's not about just we are just no killing that person. Yeah, we should kill that particular person, I agree, but what after the person were in life imprisonment, they are not doing anything, they are just so we should give them some particular moral values and like that, and they can recover. Because that's not the point. Because of the alcohol, drugs, that's the thing which have caused them to do this thing. And yeah, it's the fact. And you can search on the Google also about this 80% of the crimes which is done during the drugs and this
Okay.
alcohol. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Okay, Sinchan, you have 1 minute to place your disagreement, or you can point someone.
Okay, Shubh, I have a question. You talk about drugs and alcohol. Okay.
Yes.
If a person is
You're not audible. I think she is not audible. Emperor, can you hear her?
Just no,
Okay.
no. Just let's wait for 5 seconds. Sinchan, you
Okay.
there?
Okay.
Okay, I think she is having some network issues. So someone else from team A can ask Shubh a question and place the disagreements. Okay.
Okay, I have a question. Simple question is that,
Yeah.
like
Sure.
the way you said about it,
Mm-hmm.
rehabilitation, and it can also provide the reformation to a person. Okay, I agree with that. But when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to gang rape, when it comes to a case of a murder, what is the need of a reformation? Do you give that kind of a persons to their decency? Do you give that kind of a persons to their dignity, which the girl was also wanting for? And do you also give that person again, which was already murdered, to that family which is already needed? So we don't need any kind of a rehabilitation. We just want capital punishment for that. Tooth for tooth, eye for eye. You are having a definition in that.
Can I, Emperor, can I add
Okay.
one point
Okay.
in
No, no,
comments?
actually you can't. Shubh, you
Okay,
have
sorry.
got
Yeah.
one
Can
minute.
I answer now? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good. Yeah, that was a good question. So basically, that is the only point which I was like trying to highlight, and he covered with. He helped me also. So that is the thing which I am saying. How these crimes are being conducted. So he talked about the gang rapes, and all these things. How these are coming in the picture because we are just lacking in the moral values. The people they are more alcoholic, drugs, and all. If so, that's why we need to focus on these things. If the person is like no, like if someone mentioned precaution is better than no this thing and all. So this thing which I would like to, if we can take a precaution, then this thing won't going to repeat and
But
end.
but
Yeah.
like the way
Hmm.
you are also giving an excuse
No,
about
no,
the alcohol consumption.
you can't
Yeah.
interrupt.
Alcohol was the thing, no, right? That's why they are doing this thing. Alcohol, drugs, and this poverty and all these things. That's why this is the reason. That's why they need no. And yeah, I agree. They need to be hanged that person. But the point, that is not the end. Other person will come. How you will stop that person? It's killing just not me, no. We have to improve the society also. Kill that person, that's fine. What about the others? How you will improve? So that's why the role of rehabilitation is there in our society. Yeah,
You
that's it from my
mentioned
side.
you mentioned a point called as good crime. I want to ask you what is a good crime?
Yeah.
A crime is
Yeah,
a
no, no.
crime.
Yeah.
There's not a
It's
good or bad crime. So I want to
it's
ask you.
true.
Two
We are not.
questions.
Yeah. You can't interrupt. You only can speak when it's your turn. Okay. So
Sure.
yeah, that was very good one actually. He was just like a sunshine mixed with a little hurricane.
I
So
can answer, but
yeah,
should I? Next to
no,
answer, can I? Okay, okay, that's
actually
fine.
it's Shinchan's
Hmm.
turn. Shinchan, you have got 3 minutes.
am I audible now?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Death penalty and imprisonment is important to stop the crime and other criminals. My first point is to justice for that person who that girl that person who are facing this type of problem. Justice, if we are not doing any, if we are not giving any death penalty and life imprisonment, then that person is not able to that person then our court not able to give them justice is most important things because why murderer be allowed to live and why that victim is faced to the problem. So justice is important. And my second point is closure. If the criminal is still alive, and if the criminal have no any no any any the criminal, if the criminal is only rehabilitation centers, then that person, the closer one, the family one, those who are victim, that person is every time they are in the scared mode. They provide like their family are every time they are behind the move, like when does that criminal come, and then they are attacked again. And my third point is detention. Detention, it means like if we give them a criminal one time criminal, to give them like any type of first time to give them a criminal to any type of uh, uh, any type of death penalty and any type of punishment, then we can somehow stop the crimes. We can somehow stop the crime. We can somehow set the example. If the other person will do the same thing, then we will do the same thing with them. Then as it's not we can somehow control the future crime. And third is and the other point is more, and just mostly countries are banned, like but now UN UN nation मतलब UN and state nation are also
Okay, you're not audible.
I think she's having some issues. Oh, she left. Maybe she'll join again.
Okay, Shinchan, you there?
well now.
Yeah, you can conclude. Like almost your time is over. Any, you can say one sentence or two.
Okay, so we can say that the victim have to be just that give a court by the given by the court justice, and they safe they have to be like feel protect in our country. From That's all from my side.
Okay, so I like to call upon Shub to place his disagreement regarding her views, if any, or he can simply appoint someone else to ask a question.
Okay, so Sinchan, are you there?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, you're audible. So the question is like, is it like giving this death penalty? That's it. What about the society? Like, we want to improve, no? We want to stop the things. Can you tell the objective of death penalty? My question is objective. Why we are doing this death penalty? Yeah.
Okay, Shinchan, you
Because
1 minute
we
starts.
uh, we give the death penalty because we set an example for others. In future they will not do. And second point, if we give the death penalty to the person, then victim have to a justice. Like if they are if we are not give the death penalty, and if we not give them any punishment, then then they other person thought, yeah, we can do anything in future. Rehabilitation is not a solution. Rehabilitation is a solution for them, those who consume drugs and alcohol, for that, because they are because it affect their own, not other person. If the person affect the other person, then they have to be punished. And it's
Mm-hmm.
compulsory for them, because we have to set the example for others
Yeah.
in the future.
According to
They
according to
will
your
not
Okay,
do.
first according
we're done
according to
on
your
time.
first.
No, actually, yeah, guys,
Okay.
I just
Okay.
have to tell the rules again. Like, please try to be, like you have given a time race, please stick to it and save up your aggression for the second round. So next, I would love to call upon Neha to surprise everyone with her elegant speech. So Neha, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm audible.
And who is coming from your side? Claire? Claire, you there?
Okay, from my side, I would like to call Christian. Christian, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
So, okay, so now he will start and put flash
Yeah,
and show his
big
perspectives.
minister.
Okay.
All the very best.
No,
Thank you.
Christian's 3 minutes
Okay.
starts.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone, and I'm going to demonstrate my point of view in favor of the topic. Like there, I'm point out the thing why life imprisonment or death penalty is required in our society. Because whenever we are talking about like someone doing hilarious crime like rape or murder, so that time people saying like we need to send those guy in a rehabilitation center, or another thing they are saying we need to do retribution with that person. But according to me, this is not a right solution for the crime, because whenever we see our society, so here crime rate is already very high. And you also know, like whenever we put some kind of restriction rule, so people are more aware about the thing and they are not doing same thing again and again. And like in that condition, you don't have any kind of guarantee. If person doing same thing again, so you're not able to bound them, and maybe in future he is creating more problem. Earlier he just doing one murder, after that he do 3 or 4 murders. So this is not a solution. And according to me, once you able to do strict like once you able to start or taking strict decision against that person, or you provide good justice to that family, so it would be better for our country. And you like start thinking about the family perspective. Those is a victim, and his family thinking. And suppose if these things happen with yourself also, like in your family member, someone do something wrong with your family member, and these kind of things happen with that person, and you able to see that person again and again in front of your eyes. So you also think like our justice system is not good, because the criminal is always like you able to see surrounds you, and he is not a good person. On the another side, whenever we able to give justice to that person, and we give death penalty, so it sets some kind of example, or other people, or society, in society you know set some example, so that other people not going to do the same thing. And whenever you do this kind of thing, so it would be better for ourselves. And you also know about the thing like earlier Indian government taking some good decision, in terms of traffic rule there. There earlier very less taxes or less fines, but after increasing the price of fine, people are more aware about the thing. And right now in our society, crime rate is very high, and once we start taking decision against a criminal, those doing this kind of criminal, or if we able to provide justice to their family, they are
Conclude.
not they are not taking lots of time, so it would be better. And people are start believing on our constitution system or our justice system. So that's all for my side. Oh, thanks for listening me.
Okay,
Thank
so
you for your
Neha.
enlightening speech. I felt like you were directly talking to me. Thank you, Kishan.
Okay, don't get so confident about it. So Neha, do you have something to say about it? You have 1 minute. Any
Yeah,
question?
Krishnan. Yeah, as you said that uh, it is not good for the victim's family. And
Hmm.
can you imagine that if you falsely accuse that person that he is a guilty, and you demanded and fast code, and that penalty has been given that person, and can you reverse that person and prove them innocent? Yeah,
But
so that
why
is a
we need to
question.
prove them innocent? Because
No,
he did
means
some kind of
if
crime.
if you are you sure about if he did or she did, there is no chance to protect that things that you can't prove that things. If
Okay,
you will give them
okay. I got
instant
your
death
answer. So
penalty, so there will be no longer chance. You will regret that I accused that person
So
wrongly and
Okay,
at least
falsely. So
now
can you
can I
think
yeah.
say,
that
like,
it is a
if your question is completed,
Okay, your
if
time
your
was done,
question
Neha.
is completed. Okay, so if I say something on it, so according to me, if you do these kind of things, or if you are sending that person in a rehabilitation center, so this is not a solution. Because when you see with the victim's family, some injustice happen with that family, or this is not a good thing. And if they want justice, so I think death penalty of or life imprisonment is a good thing, because it shows some kind of good thing also, the family getting justice now, and he able to believe on our justice system. That is why it's always better, and that is not a solution. And people not believing on their justice system because of this thing. I hope you got your answer.
Okay, so that's it. So that was very Yeah, so Nia, you got 3 minutes to express your views. Hello?
Now my turns to speak.
Yeah, for 3 minutes.
Okay. So, as he supposed that he focused only the victim's family, don't you think that if that there are lots of cases who is accused falsely, someone is making the trap and they implement the innocent person that he is a criminal and or whatever that, and he can't prove himself the guilt non guilty, and just because of lack of money, lack of sources, and lack of those things, and the case held so long, and that's why there are lots of chances to make mistakes. Okay, so if there will be system, then they can that they will get a chance to recovery that. And there are lots of things that you can see, as my teammate already mentioned, there are lots of bad things happen in our drugs and all these things, and people may suffer the mental issue. So we have to understand, and if you will not give the chance to criminal to prove their recover, so what the effect will be, and what is the effect you are talking about, the just only that things that you, if you will give the death penalty. So let me clear you that how many death penalty is given is almost 30 and official, and more than 3,000 unofficial. So you can see that uh, after that even the crime are increasing day by day. Death penalty is still going on in our nation, but what is the effect, what the effect you guys you are talking about? The Nirbhaya case, we have seen in the Nirbhaya case, and I do agree that person that's deserve the punishment. Okay, but what the effect we have seen, the most of the girls, even she is uh, not a adult, and she is very young girl, and the have rape cases have still going on. So what the effect guys you are talking, that death penalty is the reason? We have to think other option also. We have to do that things. We are not supporting only rehabilitation, we are also supporting recruitment, and it will be that thing that those person deserve worse than that. They should not let them die peacefully. If you are talking about life imprisonment, so you can see that life imprisonment, so there are lots of budget who are wasting on the prisoners, and every year, and they are getting the government have
Conclude.
to. Yeah, concluding points is that there is a you got both your team is supporting the life imprisonment and death penalty. So mm, both are you, I do agree that the the victim the culprit should be punished, but there should be more option, because there is a death penalty and life imprisonment is not it's not a proper way to handle these type of things. We have to send a message to a society that we have to stop those type of things. Thank you so much.
Okay, Christian, you got 1 minute to place your counter, ending with a question.
Okay, so I would like to invite Leo Patrick from my side. Yeah, Leo, you can ask.
Okay, yeah, your
Yeah.
time starts.
So yeah, so I wanted to counter to Neha. So my question is, what is the purpose of keeping someone in prison forever and spending our taxpayer? I worked hard for the development of the nation, but our taxpayer using for the those rubbish people in for the giving food and giving the clothes. So may I know the point of view about Neha, the meaning of the keeping those rubbish people in somewhere
Thank you.
and using our
Yeah,
taxpayer?
Leo. Yeah, Leo, thank you so much for giving me your question, that it is your question and you are going against about you, because you are for supporting life imprisonment. We are not supporting. I already mentioned that what is the purpose of, I already asked the same question and you are already asked the same
No, no,
question.
no,
So
no.
that is my
Uh,
answer, that
that
we don't need to expend, and we are against with life imprisonment and death penalty also.
No, no.
That's it.
My question towards the death penalty. We can give them death penalty rather than providing our taxpayer.
If
Okay, you
you
can
are
answer
talking
now.
about the death penalty, okay, if you are talking about the death penalty, so what will happen when we will find that person was not real culprit? Real culprit was anybody else. So what
I
will
will
it is
reframe the
it
question.
is
Yeah, I will reframe the
you can
question.
send it, which is something that
Yeah.
you can't recover. Okay, you can't give them justice, that that victim, he is also victim. If you are doing that thing, death penalty, so it is not it is virtues, we can't reverse that
Okay,
things. That's it.
conclude. Yeah, that's it. So we are done on time. So that was actually mind blowing. What do you think, Claire? Mind blowing enough to tremble you?
It was, but don't be too happy.
Okay, let's see.
So I'm gonna wait. Yeah, let me welcome another participant. Doraemon, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, so show them your talent.
Yeah. So
Can I start?
so actually no,
Yeah, go
I'll be
ahead.
inviting Dorime from my side. So it's actually a wonderful pair, you know.
Yeah, it is.
So
Nice,
what
nice,
I come up.
nice. So can I start, guys?
So yeah, Doraemon,
Thank you so much. Yeah,
yeah, you
thank
can
you so
start.
much for
Your
having
three
this
minutes start.
wonderful opportunity. So, guys, let me start with one of the best quote of Immanuel Kant. He was a German philosopher. A society that is not willing to demand a life of somebody who has taken somebody else's life is simply immoral. So, yeah, what is the death penalty? So, death penalty, capital punishment, commonly known as the death penalty, and it is the execution of offender sentenced to the death after convenience of a criminal offense by the court of law. Yeah, so this is meant by death penalty and also called as a capital punishment. So according to the criminal code prescribed by the death offencer, so there are some categories waging war against the government of India according to section 121, 121. 1 minute, guys. Sorry, there is a call. Abetting mutiny actually committed section 132, giving a fabricating false evidence according to section 194, and murder section 302. These are the some example. So yeah, there are so many heinous crimes like 26/11 Mumbai attack, Nirbhaya cases, Tandoori case, and Nihari killers who rape the girls and eat the organs of that eat the organs. So yeah, there are some there are some pros of death penalty. It deters and discourages the criminal for committing the serious crimes. Then it will provide a satisfaction to the family of victim. So yeah, it will definitely we can't give the loved one person back. At least we can satisfy by doing justice to them. If we provide justice, it will not create feeling of revenge in the mind of victim's family. So yeah, this is also one of good advantages of death penalty. Then next, if there is a no capital punishment for heinous crime, then this will set example and anyone can do anything. So yeah, this is also point. Then I will give you some verdict of Supreme Court, that is the Jagmohan Singh versus State of UP 1973 case. So, according to the Supreme Court, Article 21 is the deprivation of life is constitutionally permissible if that is done according to the procedure established by law. If according to procedure established by law, thus the death sentence imposed after the trial according to the legally established procedure under the CRPC Act, then this is not unconstitutional said by Supreme Court. So yeah, so lastly, I would like to say that see, heinous crime are like Nirbhaya case, ma'am, not against the individual, it against the whole society. It's this crime create fear in the mind of all the girls. So this is not against the individual or family. This against the whole the society. That's why we
Okay,
need death
conclude.
penalty. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you,
so
Doraemon. Thank you for your stimulating speech. So, Emperor is coming from your side.
yeah, actually, I think we won't be able to form that universal pair of Doraemon and Dorime because she is not here. So I would like to call upon
Oh, so
Unfathomable.
sad.
You here? Hello. Okay.
Yeah, I'm.
Yeah, so you have 1 minute to counter him, like, and place your question for him,
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so
or you can
Doraemon,
simply
like
appoint
you
someone
talked
else.
about the. Yeah. So Doraemon, I have just one single question to you. Like you talked about the Nirbhaya case. So can you tell me, like, even after that Nirbhaya case, the girls were scared. Yes, we were, and we are still now. Even after the criminals have been hanged to death. Okay, the death penalty that you talk about. So still the crime rates are high, and yet we can see that there are many rapes cases going on. So how can you say that these are the ultimate solution for a just society?
Yeah, it's actually a good question, and yeah, so I'm not saying that this is the ultimate solution, and this is not only one solution. There are so many solutions to prevent this crime. This is not ultimately solution, and no one can claim this could be the this could be one of the best solution, but this is not ultimate one solution. So yeah, in case of those country who prevent the and who restricted the the law, there is also crime is going on, so some there are some peoples who is a serial killer, who is a mass murderer, or they are terrorists, then rehabilitation is not work against them. So that's the point, that's why they deserve to be dead. And I agree with that. There is a not but there is a completely fair in the mind, those who are potential criminal. That will be the fair in the mind, that if we are going to do this, and this will happen, and not this
Okay,
is the only reason. There
conclude.
will be other reason. There are some criminals who are supported by the ministers and the people who are in power. So this could be other reasons. This is not only one. I'm supporting that. Thank you so much.
Okay, time's up. So, Unfathomable, you got 3 minutes to express your views regarding the topic.
Okay, yeah. So first of all, thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity. I will start now. So before just starting and just coming about the topic, I would just like need to highlight the definition of justice. Justice, if you say in a layman's language, can be defined as the condition of being morally correct and fair. Here, I would like to specially emphasize on the term morally correct. And I think that giving a person or a criminal, I would say, a death penalty or life imprisonment is not a morally correct or a fair punishment that we are giving. Why? Because if I talk about the death penalty, suppose if a person has murdered someone in a very brutal and a heinous manner, and you just give him death penalty, is it the same value that the person who was a victim got? No, absolutely not. Because what happens in a death penalty is you're killing that person in one instant, like within seconds that happen. So can he or she ever realize the consequences or the pain that the victim is going through? The family? No, we cannot do that. It can never be compared with that pain that the family and the trauma that they have been going through, and even the victim, whether he survived or not. So the concept of death penalty is totally null and valid if I talk about if you want to give a fair and a just punishment to an individual. Now talking about the life imprisonment, why we are saying that it should be in a rehabilitation manner is what happens in a life imprisonment is that you're putting a prisoner in the four walls of a jail. Okay, and that person has to survive there. But what impact is it creating? Like, is the person able to realize what he has done? Absolutely not, because what happens is he's sitting with those criminals out there. Okay, and what they know that they have committed a crime, but is it happening? Like, are they even realizing? And what about the it's not happening now because they are not changing. We are just putting them inside the prison with all those criminal minds. If at that point, I'm not saying that we should set them free, but giving them another opportunities in the sense that taking care of their mental health or providing them with extra vocational activities would definitely improve themselves and support their families also, because they would realize that the pain that they had gone through, and even I'm not saying that we are giving them a second chance, but we are making it more better. Why? Because if they are given some vocational activities, it can contribute to the judiciary system as well. Like if they are given some work to do, that amount could be contributed to the family, the victim of the family who was brutally murdered or for any XYZ reason. So the concept of, I think that this traditional method of death penalty and life imprisonment should be waived off. And what we need to think right now is, like as it is said, change is the only constant in a person's life. And in order to have this change and bring about better
Conclude.
things in the society, we need to start this rehabilitation and retribution. Thank you so much.
Okay, Doraemon, you got 1 minute.
Can I ask question?
Yeah, 1 minute for questions.
Thank you so much. Unfathomable, as you and so many guys mentioned that education is necessary. Let me give one example of one of my friend UP. I will not say his name, her name. She was from a good family, and her uncle was from good family. Her uncle raped her at her childhood. He was very educated. I asked her. He was presenting his face like he is very good, but he still raped her. So, do you really think that education and rehabilitation can really helpful for these psycho people? Like there are one example of Korea that due to lack of evidence, free that guy. But after that, he killed so many people, and after that he got caught. So yeah, this is my question: is really rehabilitation work on psycho, and really education and rehabilitation works? Thank you so much.
Yeah, Doraemon, one thing I want to say, like when I was talking about rehabilitation, I didn't say that the person would be set free. And what happens is you cannot compare education with moral education. It is totally different. If a person is able to read and write, can we call it to be an educated person? Absolutely not, because that person can be considered as a literate. But what does education means? Doing the right thing at the right time and with proper like thing that is not wrong. So the concept of education is null and valid. And obviously that person is not an educated individual, because we are talking about moral education also. Education is a wider concept, and you cannot
Yeah,
just say that
got
if
it.
a person is being employed or having a job. That is what I'm
Got
saying.
it.
And
Got
when
it.
I said
Sorry
about
to interrupt.
rehabilitation,
Sorry to interrupt.
when I said there's one
I
thing.
will add I will just add little point here. She said
Yeah,
that that
you're not allowed to. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
So,
So
okay,
when I said, okay, and when I was talking about rehabilitation, I did not say that the person will be set free. I emphasized on it. We are not setting them free, but we are not restricting them to the four walls of that house or the jail that I call, because it eventually became their house now. But
okay,
in
okay. Just
that
little
case, we are
question.
just
Just
providing them
little question. Just
another
little
thing,
question.
not only for their development, but for the victim's family and for their family as well. And
Just
also
little question.
contributing to the judiciary system.
okay.
I never
Time's up.
Yeah,
said that
just
we
Time's up.
would
little
set them
question.
free.
Just little
No.
question. Just little
Okay.
question. Just little
No,
question.
Doraemon. Doraemon,
When
listen me. You got a minute to ask all your questions, and you are supposed to be sticking on to that time range. Okay. So you can't right now. And by the way, that was a good one by both of you. So how was it, Mia? I see you suddenly turning all cool. Don't worry, I will be calling out my participants to warm you up.
Damn, it was quite good. I really love, like you can say, my all of my teammates, they are doing great at showing themselves as dedicated English learners. I still have faith in them. As I mentioned before, like losing and winning, it really doesn't matter. We all are here for learning something productive. So if you don't have to be over the moon, let's wait patiently, and we are going to have a fair judgment, right? So,
Okay. So
okay,
who's
let's
next
welcome.
on my side?
Okay, I'm going to call Dextro. Are you there?
Yup.
And
Okay,
and
okay.
and I would like to
Go
call
ahead.
upon that to bring in some exceptional insights to each one of us. So Darbar, are you there? Hello, Darbar. Okay, I guess he's not here. So Dave, you here? Can you guys hear me? Claire, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think they are having dinner right now, and they left you alone.
hello, Emperor.
No,
One
no.
of
I would like
hello,
to
Emperor.
call upon Nihal right now.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
One of a guy who joined this group, he just sent me message, and he's abusing me. He's abusing me. That and he said that he's abusing me. I'm not repeating his word, and he just said that गजब बेइज्जती है. So ऐसा कुछ लिखा है
Okay,
उसमें.
okay, Doraemon, block him for
Kindly
now.
share the screenshots. Let's
Yeah,
let's ban
block
that.
him for now,
Let's
and
ban
then
him.
directly to one of the admins. Yeah. So Darbar, you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, you got your 3 minutes. You can start.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. Today's debate topic is life imprisonment and death penalty and rehabilitation and retribution, and I'm supporting rehabilitation and retribution. So, guys, death penalty and life imprisonment is, totally a emotional decision. Okay, it is an emotional decision. Why emotional decision? For the victim's family who is suffering or the victim is suffering. But this is not kind of thing that if we are giving death penalty to a person just because of the false evidences and other things, rather than we are considering his statements. So if a person has a guilty of a murder charges and a lower court has put him for the death penalty, but if he's go for a high court and they made him to for a life imprisonment, and they are giving him chance to survive. So it is contradicting fact that the statements and the evidences, and also court has to think about the falsely implicated case. If maybe that person is falsely implicated in that, so court is taking his taking their time. So that is why death penalty is wrong, because some person was saying about that if there is a heinous crime and they are not getting death penalty, so that is also a crime. But no, if today is a latest case. Okay, I cannot take the name, but the latest case is that that person is he was in the jail for 31 years. Okay, he has lost his all the life, and he has lost his graduation studies and everything, his joys of his life and everything, just because of the late what he got right now. So I think we should think about it. Many people were demanding death penalty for him just because they were saying about they were emotionally saying about that he has done a heinous crime, but court hasn't paid attention to them. Why? Because if court will sentence that person to the death penalty, then that person will that person, if that person will died at that time, so why he is getting right now bail, the interim bail after 31 years? That is the point. So guys, I'm talking about rehabilitation is a process of re-educating and retraining those who commit crime. The serious offenders, the specific kinds of crime committed by the particular offender. So they mostly people have not always been offenders, and it is possible for an offender to change for the better and contribute to themselves for the society as a whole. And also punishment is only a way of making an offender pay for the crime committed, but it will not change his her behavior. Rehabilitation ensures that the offenders learns from mistake and becomes a reformed citizen. What if we
Okay.
are okay, so we can learn from Nirbhaya case and other cases too. Like we have a most renowned wrestler who was in the Olympic game. He was also charged with the murder, but if he would go for the death penalty, then what about his experience, what about his medals? He can teach students wrestling, and he can be used for as in society's help. So there are many things. And also if there are the prisoners, like there are many IAS and bankers and businessmen are also there. They are also in the jail, and they have been sentenced for the life imprisonment, but we are getting enough things from them? No, we are not taking enough things from them.
Yeah,
We need to
thanks.
take their skills.
Yeah. So who was from your side, Claire, again?
I want to ask a question from him.
Okay,
Uh,
it's tough.
I would
Okay,
go, and
Thakur.
Is it
after
back?
after me, Thakur, you can go.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
So
let's
yeah,
start.
first of all, you mentioned few of the terms called as false evidences and the courts being emotional and falsely implicated systems. First of all, I would like to mention that all these court proceeding and the officers who are sitting on the chairs are deeply moral, and they have a career on which they have based upon these successes. They are not emotional. They look at the facts and then process their decisions. It's job of the people to be emotional, not of the courts to be emotional. Although they have certain rebalances of the moral acts, because they are human, they are not machines. So they have morals by which they assign that is this person needing like what degree of punishment. Courts commit mistakes. People also commit mistakes, but it doesn't mean that it's falsely accused that death penalty is wrong because court consider some wrong decision. It will happen even after a person has been said to be free from all the charges. after 15 years, after 20 years, he again can be found guilty. So this concept is flawed, that because the person or a court or a system can commit a mistake, that's why a particular type
Okay,
of punishment is wrong.
you're done. Are you done with your question?
Dextro, could you please repeat your question in one line? Actually, you were not audible for me. Just in one
I
line.
all of the things that you mentioned from the start, I found false in all of that. That's why I mentioned all
Okay.
of the things by points. False evidences, courts being emotional, falsely implicated articulations, people versus courts, and court committing mistakes, and you saying that death penalty is wrong. These are my 5 pointers. If I put it short.
Darbar,
Okay.
you got 1 minute.
What was the problem? Okay, what was the problem when 2611? There is a teammate, your teammate. He was suggesting about the 2611. So there was a Kasab. He was a terrorist. Okay, everyone knows about it. People were screaming that he's a terrorist. Hang him, hang him, hang him. But why court didn't hang him at that time? Why? Because court hasn't been biased to anybody. Okay, that is the problem. If he is from different country, but our court gave decision in totally in a unbiased manner. So this is the thing what we need to think about it. If you are saying that death penalty is correct, and I have said that about the falsely implication, so there are many falsely implications as well. There are many false evidences. If you know about the if you know about the death penalty abolition, there is also the court has mentioned something like there should be police reforms, victim compensation, witness protection. Okay, it time's up.
Can I
Yeah.
address him?
See,
Darbar,
see,
just before you're done.
I-
So, no, that's true. We're done. So, who is coming from your side? That was very good. That was some brilliant thoughts from your side, Darbar. Keep them. So, who is coming from your side? Mia next.
Hold on a second.
Let I.
Is it question answer? Can I ask question? Yeah.
Okay. Wait
No,
a sec, wait a sec.
Dextro is.
Hania, is Hania there?
Did you go with your 3 minutes view? Hello, Dextro, you there?
yeah,
Are you
no, I
done with your 3 minutes view?
haven't. Like, I just wanted to ask the points, and after
Okay,
that, you muted me.
okay, you can. Your 3 minutes starts.
Okay, see, first of all, if you go through the definition of retribution, it means that punishment for a crime. Retribution is not as same as revenge, and the people who are sitting in the high courts or the supreme courts of the country are not emotional. That's what I want to say. And the punishment process, without it, the family and friends of the victims or the general public wouldn't find that the justice had been served. First reminder of the basic argument behind the retribution and punishment is that all guilty people deserve to be punished. Guilty people deserve to be punished in proportion to the severity of their crime, and the argument states that the real justice requires people to suffer for their wrongdoings and in the conjuncture of the crime that they have committed, because the level of the crime and the retribution required for a crime is different in all junctures of the society and the people who have committed it. The next thing is that courts or the general justice system has been doing these kind of things, harsh decisions to prevent reoffending of a crime. They just don't have to implement in a single case or a single wrongdoing. They have to see that the general public does not commit the crime again. There were many cases in which the prisoner gets away without getting all punishment, and you don't want a terrorist to roam around freely on the street, do you? Deterrence is another point. Harsh penalty is needed to discourage the people from so harsh crimes such as murders and terrorism. If they get free, the millions and billions of people's, you can say, lives are on threat. This is not a easy issue that you can take for a right of life for a person. I'm sure that the right of life means something in the general public. But when the court says that you have a right of life, they also say that you have to be a moral and certified citizen, a good citizen. And a good citizen is that which implies the moral authority given by the court. If you are not implying that things on your thoughts, it doesn't mean you are a good citizen. The next thing is morality. Argument is that the death penalty is moral punishment and state that it is justified to promote good and just and shun the evil from the society. Many people have said that it is cruel and it's like it's very painful, but the common sense is that the more frightening thing for human is to lose their life. That's the most frightening thing. And if you are having a death penalty, it means that you're not going to commit that crime again. Now, many people would argue that this thing is very painful, but I would like to say that the legal system is constantly evolving and maximizing the justice. The legal system may take wrong decision, doesn't mean that the death penalty is wrong. Every effort is being challenged in the court, and modern methods of crime discretion, such as DNA testing, and is like being tested for the greater good of the producing the guilty that existed in the past. More methods have been came up, like preventing. You can say injections have been came up by which you can just inject somebody with an injection and they can lose their life. Nowadays, people are not getting hanged from a rope. Nowadays, things are becoming more easy. You just need to pay for your crimes. That is what I wanted to say.
Okay. So Darbar, you have some questions. You got 1 minute for that. Hello.
So you were talking about the death penalty and this kind of things, that it is morally uh, for the accused. Okay. So I also mentioned about the false evidences and other things. So my question is to you, that if a person, he has done murder, okay, he is a allegedly murderer, but court hasn't put the decision like he's a murderer. He is just a suspect, and just because of the law, he is in jail. Okay, he's in jail, and people want him to for the death penalty. So it is correct for him, if he's he belongs to a very good background, he's a businessman, or he's a very bright student in his previous life. So I think we need to think about it. The morally, we need to go for rehabilitation. If he has done that kind of thing, so we need to change the thing of the society, and also for the prisoner as well. And second question is that
Okay, yeah, carry on with your second. Okay, Dexter, you can answer.
See, the first thing is that it is the cost-effective solution. The idea was put forward by the abolitionists that the cost to execute someone than to imprison them for the life, and it is not simply true. And there is plenty evidence to show it. The justice system is blind. That is what I was explaining. It doesn't matter from which educational background that you're coming from. Court sees facts. That's what I was explaining you, that these are judges who have been lawyers, who have been in the legal and judicial system for years and years, from decades. They don't become emotional and say that this person is guilty or not. Do you want, let's say you commit a crime in USA, do you want their justice system to be biased towards a US citizen, or do you want legal system to be unbiased? In one point of yours, you said that you want the country's legal system to be biased. They never should be biased. Whether you belong to a sex, creed, religion, or any part of the society or conjecture of the society, they shouldn't be biased.
Okay. So Claire, you there? How was that? I think you are kind of losing your breath.
It was
You with the inhaler
no,
or
it
something?
was amazing. Believe me, Dexter did well.
Your dreams.
Okay, so you're supporting rehabilitation. I would like to ask you something. Let's know about your opinion too, okay?
Yeah, fine.
Have you heard about the 14-year-old girl in Rajasthan who was raped before some days in the delivery room by someone? What punishment do you think the government should impose on him?
Okay. So I hope that you are not thinking about life imprisonment, like life imprisonment or hanging him. It's not the punishment he deserves. He deserves retribution. Where he will be tortured and he will pay for all his sins that he have done. Right. You have to prolong your suffering. He should suffer the same pain that girl has gone through, rather than giving him a simple death like hanging him or giving him life imprisonment and putting him out of his misery. So retribution is a thing where he should suffer.
I mean, like, seriously, he ruined her life. That guy, in my opinion, should be hanged in front of the public. As a result, his death will serve as a warning to everyone who considers duplicating this error. For raping a female, he should not be forgiven. If we keep giving chances to these people, they will repeat it, and the demon within them will awaken, and they will continue to do big things. Do you think so?
I don't think it will just put him out of the misery, as I said before. It will be a good thing if he is tortured, like he will be getting punishments, and it will be like setting an example for other rapists. They will not do this deed because they know what all are the consequences if they do, because they have to suffer this torture. And hanging them will just give them simple death, and they are not worthy of that.
It will be a lesson for everyone.
Okay, so I think it's time to start with the second round, right?
Yeah, indeed. Yes.
Everyone is very excited, and everyone was kind of saving the aggression for
Indeed, I'm
this
gonna
round.
call my talented speakers.
No, actually, before that, I have to convey some rules that,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so the rules for the round two are like we will be calling three participants from a team simultaneously, okay, one at once. And they will be going on for 15 minutes straight, and you guys are responsible for keeping it smooth. And the points that will be rewarded for this round two will be credited to the team score, okay? It's not individual score. So you guys got 30 seconds to decide who you guys will be sending from your team. And yeah, so you guys got 30 seconds. Claire, you can decide who you are gonna send. And yeah.
Are we going to send two participants?
No, we are going with three.
Oh, three. Okay.
Yeah, you got 30 seconds to decide.
Okay. From my side, I would like to call Christian, Thakur, and Leo. Are you guys there?
Yes.
So this is the second round, and I'm sure you guys are gonna prove yourself and nail it. So
Exactly.
let's show them.
Okay.
One more thing before starting this round. In this round, you do not have to fight directly. There will be one judge, okay? And you have to call that judge, means you have to convey that judge your message, right? Like we do that thing in courtroom.
Okay. So
You cannot argue. You cannot argue that much. So if the judge will say stop or order, then you have to stop immediately. So yeah, continue.
Okay, so I have a question.
Before that, let me at least announce the members from my side. Okay. Yeah, I like your excitement, but yeah. So I would like to call upon Darbar, Shuk, and Nia from my side to set ablaze the stage with the flaming points. So you guys ready? Each one of you. Darbar, Shuk, Nia.
Yeah, we are ready. Yeah.
Okay, your time starts now.
Okay, Shubh.
Okay, Thakur, you guys can go. Just try to be in the good book, so
Okay,
that
sure.
will just catch your attention. Go for it.
So I have a simple question to you all guys who's present here, not from the defense team, against the all persons. If a girl who actually get raped by a person, she will also lose out the respect in the society. She will also lose out the reputation as well as her decency, modesty, dignity. How can you give that kind of a things to that person after rehabilitation, reformation? I have a simple question first. Second question is that there is a terrorist attack which always been going on in the countries. So how can you, there is a single terrorist who also have a mindset, intention, knowledge about the things which he actually doing it, and after that he can also brutally murder all the peoples. How can you, how can you give all the hundreds lives and thousands life after providing rehabilitation and reformation to that terrorist? And third question is that the case which was happened in Delhi, that was brutally raped by a simple girl. She was not having anything. She doesn't have any mistake. and after that you are also calling that person as to be a normal person. I mean, just think about anything from the humanity. I mean, can you provide a I mean, don't you want to provide that person as to be hanged till that? Because what kind of a formation you want? Does you think terrorist become also change? Does you think rapist becomes also change? And you can also tell me seriously one thing: do you also marriage with the rapist? Do you also marriage with the terrorist? You can also give me a that answer which I already asked you.
Answer to
Yeah,
your all
Thakur,
question is answer to your all question
yeah.
is retribution. Retribution. What do you mean by retribution? I would like to tell you. Eye for eye, neck for neck, hand for hand, and head for head. Okay, so that is the more powerful killing which we can give to a murderer. It's not about just hanging or some no that death penalty. It's greater than that. So yeah, any other question?
So what is the need of judges? These theories are already prohibited by the constitutional famous and by the peoples also.
Okay,
These
okay.
theories will never work in nowadays
Okay,
situations.
if you are going with the constitution, I would like to give you one more point. 44 million cases are in pending in court. What do you want to say on that?
44 million cases are pending because of there is a long proceedings. They also analyze the witnesses, evidences about the documents, about the circumstances, about the things what the witness actually said. That they also examining the person. They also cross examining the person.
Is your that girl is getting justice?
And
You can
Not
Thakur,
that.
also,
as you said, let me
Yeah, yeah,
ask,
Neha, yeah,
let
Neha,
me
yeah.
answer you. So, yeah, Thakur, as you said, your first question was that whose girl has been raped, she lost her respect in all the society. So what she has done? So why she has lost her respect? Even that
because of a
criminal
dead
has
person.
lost
Because
order
that
and
person also
things.
raped
And
him.
let me
That
complete. I have listened. You let me complete. Let me complete, Thakur. Please listen to me. And your all question was all about the cases. You are basically define the other and different cases. Okay, so you are not talking about the solution, and you are not giving particular answer. You are just reading your cases, and there are lots of cases. If you are starting the reading the cases, so every question and every case is the question. So, and
so
you know that
simple
we
solution is
are,
that do you also do
simple
marriage?
simple,
Yeah. See. There is
so
a simple
you know
question.
simple why are you turning the personal question? We are
It's
talking
not about
about
the personal
the
question.
that things.
I'm
Okay, let we are not supporting only rehabilitation. We are supporting also the eye and eye treatment. If you are if we are just decide discussing, okay, so let me ask to you that don't you think that that it is very simple punishment for that guy who has raped the girl? It should be that it should be like that. If he has raped the girl, so it should be that that organ will be cut. Okay, there should be that organ will be cut, then other people will be also afraid for to come they will think and they will afraid of
Okay, so I have one
before the
question,
commit
Neha.
Okay,
this
Neha,
that
okay,
again.
I have
Okay,
one
okay.
question. So
I
that
want to
scenario
answer
will
his
be
second question.
See,
He was talking
why you
about
are not
terrorist.
replying? Why you
He
are
was
not giving
asking
me
about
answer?
terrorist. Okay, I'm giving the answer. Akhand, Thakur, I'm
yes.
giving you answer of your second question that you are saying that a terrorist is killing 100 and 200 of the people and why we are going against the death penalty. Okay, so
How
our
to
army
earn?
is
What is
not
the
there
simple question
only
mine
for
after?
feeding them biryani. Just
It's
think
not about
one
the
thing.
biryani.
At the spot, if there should okay,
It's
it
not
is
about the
about the
biryani.
death penalty. Listen to me first. That our army personnel are there. They will give him what he is doing at the spot. But if he has been caught with the defense personnel, and we can get many important information from the terrorist. Do you think that if that terrorist can be rehabilitated, okay, we can rehabilitate that terrorist, then we can get more information from what they are planning, what they are doing, the sleeper cells, and other kind of information. So this is very important thing that
Okay,
why
okay.
we are supporting rehabilitation. This
The
is
word
not
is
about
called
that he
the
is
word is
terrorist,
called
so we
spy
have to
agent.
give him death penalty.
So
Yes.
can you also give
Okay,
me
He
100
can work
lakhs
for
of the
we
yeah.
can
person?
work as a he can work as a spy agent. We can send him back to the
It's
Thakur,
like
particular
that. There
country.
is a lot
you
of
know,
Yes.
technology.
Shubh
There is
Shubh
a lot of
mentioned about retributive sentence. Thakur, Shubha mentioned about retributive sentence. Do you know about what is the retributive sentence? And Neha also shared something eye for an eye and other things hand for hand. This kind of things about the retributive sentence. So I wanna take your attention from like bulldozer crackdown. Do you know about it? MP government and UP government is also doing bulldozer crackdown. So this is not only the thing that a girl has been raped by a criminal. So we are leaving that criminal, but we are doing we are giving him a retributive sentence for that. So
See,
that is
man,
why we are countering
you are
about it.
also saying about the bulldozer treatment, it was related to the property. And we are discussing all about the criminal sentences. The criminal sentences with respect to
So
the life imprisonment and the death penalty. And you are saying like it was also illegal. It can also take the sanctions of the government. They can also take the permission from the government. Then they can also put down that kind of a property. And that thing you also said it. You just give one answer of that. Why not every person? Why not a single person can also marry that person again who actually got raped? You can also give me that answer. How can you provide the decency? How can
no,
you
there
provide
are many example. There are many example.
no example, man?
No,
Why?
no,
And
there
that
are
you
many
know that
example.
it's a problem
No,
of mentality
you
of
can't
the
say that.
society.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
a
a
problem of
problem of
mentality.
society.
Correct, Neha.
You c- you know
See, every person can
that
also.
girl didn't do anything wrong. That girl didn't do anything wrong. Sorry for
Okay, okay.
my voice
Simple
was
question.
loud, but
Simple
you
question.
are saying only rubbish thing. That girl, why are you saying that that girl is doing anything wrong? Why not? Why can't
See,
anybody can marry
there is a
that
simple but
person?
clear
And
reason.
criminal should be punished. Criminal should be the away from the society. That criminal,
Criminal.
okay, not for girl,
See,
and you are talking about the girl. So girl is not doing, and girl didn't do anything wrong. So, and
Okay.
the criminal
you
has
are
lost
actually favoring
her
our
respect,
statement.
his
You are
respect,
actually favoring our statement. The
First
defense
think of
of
Now I
like
think
have a
of
question.
first
so
first
you
think
are
about the
giving.
culprit, then think about the victim. First think about the culprit who did it, and give him the heinous. If he is doing the heinous crime, then give him the heinous punishment. That not just with the hanging. Hanging will not work, brother. It will not. It will not work
why
at all.
not hanging will
Yeah.
work? Do you want to
It
give
will not
another
work.
chance to
It
also
will
do
not
that
work.
kind of crime to
There's,
other
there's.
person?
I will tell you. I will tell you. Have you heard about 3D torture? Advanced legal
Which one?
torture.
Yeah, I know about the
Do
advanced
you know
torture,
what?
but it can't
Do
be
you know
given at
what's
this
going on in
present
Dubai?
scenario. It can't be given
How
at
they
this
are.
present scenario, but because it is provided by the sections also. You can't give any person's chance to be a personal torture to that person. Otherwise, they can
So
also take the
if
defenses
you
of
will go
police
with
court.
the this constitution law, then I can also give you 44 cases are 4 million
Because
cases are pending.
they are pending because of lack of judges.
See, if girls are not getting justice, if girls is if listen, if that girl is not getting justice, then how she will marry her? Right? Tell me just one thing. Like, if she's not getting justice only, then how you're thinking to just get marry her? You give him the justice.
Rehabilitation is not a justice.
Give him
If you provide death penalty, or if he not able to survive in a
the
life, then
the
girl
the
able to
word
get
is
justice.
the word is retribution. Search on Google, brother. I think you don't know
Yeah,
the
I
meaning of that
already
word.
searched buddy.
Yeah.
And I also have one
What is the
questions like
definition? Tell me what is the definition then if you
like
have searched. Krishna,
whenever
tell me the
someone cut
definition.
your hand. Okay, I tell
Mm-hmm.
you, like when someone
Yep.
cut your hand, so you also need to cut that person's hand. But now I'm going to ask a question. You need to give answer of these questions. Like
Yes. Mm-hmm.
suppose like one person kill your two or three loved ones, and after that he going in rehabilitation center. After that he come again and again. He do like he kill one or two persons. So how you can able to get a justice from that situation? Because if you are going and sending that person again rehabilitation center, so this is not a solution. Or he killed already five people,
We
so
are
how
with the
he
we
able to
mhm.
get a
Yeah,
justice?
we are with
Yeah,
the
you can
topic of
tell me answer of this
rehabilitation, and
question.
second one is retribution. The first one is the person with the who did little crimes, no, such as stealing something. For them, yeah, it's like psycho people like drug addiction. They can go for the rehabilitation. For the person who do the heinous crime, for them, there's the word retribution. I will recommend again and again. Search
There
on
is
the
a
Google.
simple
Not
question of
allowing
mine.
in our
See,
Yeah.
justice system, like you able to
retribution
do justice.
simply means that a crime, like giving a punishment for a crime, simply means that you are again and again being using that term without knowing the
Exactly.
meaning.
They are also ripping our sentiment.
The
They are
capital punishment is being used here
We
because
are
that
not
is a
talking about
crime
the
by
It's
capital.
which
more
you have to
heinous.
But
because you
you
have
are
to give the punishment
disagree with
to
your
the
point.
person
One
who
side
has
you are
committed
saying we need
this
to
crime.
I think you are reading something that's
rehabilitation
true.
center.
You are saying something else.
Shubham,
And before you are just talking about
Like,
the
are you
our judgery system is
even
blind,
listening to?
and
I'm
you are
saying
Can I
that
reading
ask a
something.
question?
Are
what
you reading
No,
something?
Guys,
one question I would like to ask. One
We
question.
were
Suppose,
talking about the
suppose,
rehabilitation
like
and
you
recruiting,
are
and you are
talking
No,
about
asking the
flawed systems.
capital
stop,
punishment.
I will give an
stop,
example.
stop.
Suppose,
Okay, stop. Okay, stop. Okay, stop.
oh,
Stop.
okay,
Guys, stop. Wait. You will. It's courtroom, and it's not any kind of fish market. You can go one by one, or even whatever you're doing, please make it in a sense. And now you can just give break to one person from that three person, and you can invite one extra, like fourth reserve person. Okay,
I'll go
continue.
first from team A. I'll go first from team A. The thing is that the team B is not recognizing the value of authoritative power. At first, they
before that,
introduced the point. Listen to me.
yeah,
Listen to me. After first, you introduce the point that army is not like you are not believing in army intelligence. Don't you think that in their head it is also there? If a terrorist comes into their land, first they will get all the necessary information, then only they'll execute him. Are they mad? Are they like a newbie in their business? Don't they know that what they have to do? Like we all sitting here think that we are so intelligent and so powerful. Even they have been in this profession for 10 to 15 years. They know what they are doing. First, they will
that's
extract
true.
every
That's true.
first.
Whatever you are saying, it's
that's
true. I
true.
agree.
That's true.
You are
What?
saying, I
No,
agree.
I'm
You are
not
out
agree
of the
with you,
topic.
you
You're
can
man.
go
going.
one by
Our
one.
army
You
personnel
can go
is
one by one.
giving their reply. They are encountering a terrorist very well. Okay, but it is about death penalty. Okay, you are suggesting about the death penalty of terrorists. So that is why I am countering that. If any terrorist is, we have caught them alive, so we can get information from him.
That's what
Okay,
I'm
so
saying.
you are
That's
you
what
are
I'm saying.
questioning
That
you are questioning
when a
on
person is
army.
abducted,
Yes.
I'm not questioning whole army. I'm saying that the army is so intelligent
So that
that
means you are
armies.
agreeing
I'm
with the
saying, I'm,
rehabilitation.
I'm saying that the
You are
army
agreeing with
is
the
so intelligent.
rehabilitation.
I'm saying that the army is so intelligent that they know what they are doing. They don't need your permission to do, excursion exercises.
No, they
They
won't take
first they
any
carry out program.
permission.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
yeah, they
Yeah,
do
King,
that.
there is a
But
question of a mind. King, there
if
is a question of a
there is
mind.
a
You are saying
terrorist,
about the rehabilitation. Okay. You can tell me a single answer. If every person will also get reformed by the reformation, then what is the need of a death penalty and life imprisonment? You can tell me why they often provided that kind of a provision in the book. And you can also tell me in a
okay,
single crime which they can also offer that penalty. You can tell me a single crime.
okay,
I am also agree with you. Yeah.
just okay. Do you know there is a person who was in the jail for 31 years. I can't take the name of that controversial
You can tell me a
murder.
single answer.
Uh,
You can tell me a
that
single answer. Don't create any situation in
yeah,
that there is a
I'm
person on
I'm
that.
I'm
You
giving you
can
the
give me a
answer.
single answer
I'm
where
giving you
there is a
answer.
provision. Yeah,
No,
there is a provision which is death penalty and life imprisonment, which is actually present in the book. Then what is the need of it? If you are actually reform the person through rehabilitation or reformation theory, you can give me that answer only.
okay. How many people got death sentence till now?
80, more than 80 people.
80 people. Okay. So only 80 people has done heinous crimes till now after our independence.
See.
If
By
you're talking
by
about
the
law, if you're talking
by
about law and it has been written in the book, can you please provide me something like only 80% has got death sentences? Why?
not
Other
80%.
why
The number is open.
because
108
because
country? Why
court
The
other?
number
thinks
is open.
because court thinks that if a person is getting a chance to rehabilitate, so we have to give him.
Okay, what is the need of a chance to also a brutal rapist? You can tell me. Does he not do
Okay,
that kind of rape again?
okay.
And what is the need
if,
of the
if a
terrorist?
person is today is a rapist, okay, if a person is today is a rapist and after 30 year of the sentence life imprisoned, if that the same person which is right now, it would be a same person
Yeah,
after 30
this is
year.
right now. He can also relate with the
Okay,
teachers.
so
Also,
so
they
you
can
don't
also give
know.
punishment to
People
the
may or may
students.
Okay,
not change. People may or may not change. There is no guarantee that a
it
person
depends on their
particularly will change
cognitive.
or not.
Yes,
It not only depends
it
on a
depends on
particular
the person to
situation.
person.
Yeah,
It
that's what I'm
depends on
saying.
person to person.
There's
That's
one
why
thing.
you should
My
have
Guys,
faith
please
in
my
court.
listen one.
question.
That's why you
My
should have faith
question.
in court, and
That's
these
Okay,
all things are
I
going
have
my
a
in
question.
the
question.
technique.
I
My
have a
question
question
to you
for
that
team
so
A. I have a
King,
question
everyone
for
wants to
team
give
A.
me question.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm giving a team.
you
Guys,
can
Darbar
ask a
Darbar.
question. Okay,
Let
please
we have
speak
let
got
one
me
by one.
we
Yeah,
have
please,
got we
please
have
one
got a
person
debate
can ask.
topic and I'm supporting that topic. That is why I'm very strict to my topic. Okay, I have a question. There is a very renowned
But you
wrestler.
can
If
also
you
give the
know him,
answer. No,
he has, he has won the medal. I have given you the answer, buddy. You
no,
haven't
you
listened. That is
didn't
your
give me the
problem.
answer. You
Okay,
said
so the
what is the? I mean, you asked the number of cases. I said it, but what is the need of capital punishment and life imprisonment in the book? You can tell me what is the
No,
need of it.
one
so
question I would like to ask from your team basically. Listen. See,
that,
if you're someone from your team mentioned
that
about
was
like
the my answer. Why,
Wait.
if there is written
stop,
in the book,
listen.
if
Let
Okay,
if
stop.
there is
Okay,
written in the
stop.
book,
Okay,
in the law
stop.
book.
Stop. Emperor, you speak, please. Like now, this is the time to go with substitute. Like you can change your one or two member, and you can add your one or two member. Okay, this is the
Okay.
compulsorily. You have to at least change one person compulsorily, but you can change two as well. Okay, one
Okay.
person
And
should
we'll
be there. Out of three, one person should be there. Only you can choose one or two. Okay, and announcement is like now you are having 10 to 12 minutes, so you have to wind up
no,
accordingly.
8 minutes. 8 minutes.
Okay, so who is the person against?
Wait, Emperor is saying something. Wait.
No, you guys only have 7 minutes. I guess that's enough, right?
So yeah, so speak now. Ki who are those three person? Then can start from what
Yeah,
team?
start with the conclusion part, guys, and please give chance to others because yeah, or else points will be deducted.
Yeah,
Yeah, carry on.
so
Okay,
wait. Emperor, to please mention who are three from your team means and
Yeah.
yeah.
So we will go on with Darbar, Shub, and Unfathomable.
Okay, and from team A, Thakur, you can say who are three person.
okay, me. I'm saying me, like Christian
Mm-hmm.
and Leo and Dexter. You can guys can decide. Yeah, Detro, you can come in.
Okay, you guys
Oh,
have 6 minutes. Yeah, start.
yeah, start.
it's my turn to ask the question. Basically, if you don't know, debate, but just listen, and if you have answer, then you can leave and term easily. Okay, no problem. As we talk about the Nirbhaya case, it occurred in 2011. 2012 basically, but the point is after 8 years or 10 years if someone is getting some no like result hanging, so what's the use? Is this a justice we are giving to a particular girl? And see, it's not
Man,
like that's the my point. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, it's so if someone say from your
there is
team,
a court proceedings.
one more example
There
is
is a court proceedings.
suppose
Okay,
someone
okay.
someone hit just one sec. Some yeah, just I will give the
Man, there is
example
a
also.
answer. Man. I have
Wait.
an answer of
Someone
this
no,
question.
someone will hit you. Okay, just now only, and after 10 years you will take the revenge of that particular person, or just take the action right now.
Okay, I
Yeah,
have an answer of this
yes, sir.
question. Maybe
Yeah,
you
answer.
know about the constitution. So there is a provision in the constitution which is available for every offender. They can also go for the appeal in the high courts, and they can also
Thakur.
go for the appeal in the Supreme Courts, because after that they can also go for the review petition, and then they also go for the president, and then they also take the permission from that. They can also take the pardoning power. They can also take the remission. They can also take the respite also. So these are the things due to which
Mm-hmm.
proceedings will also takes place in a long way, due to which reason
No, if
the
if
yeah,
Thakur, if it was from your loved ones, then you will wait for 10 years or 8 years. Now think and answer. Okay.
it's a court
Mm.
proceedings. You can't show your feelings, your emotions. If you are not having a faith on the
Okay,
court,
got my
then
answer.
why you
Got
are
my
going to
answer.
the
Yeah.
court?
I think judges
See,
also got it right.
that is what we are trying to explain. That the court works in a proper procedure. It doesn't care whether the what are the loved ones saying, because the loved ones are saying that the person who has committed rape should be hanged by death. They are supporting our point.
It is
They are
not
supporting
correct.
our
No, someone is not in the life, and his parents are also not in the life. After 10 or 20, 50 years, you will give the justice. That is what is the use of this? No,
There is a
Yes,
now
no,
no.
it's not like that. Even it happens
After
sometimes
What
that
if
the person
that
after
person
50
will
years,
become
huh?
innocent?
Yeah.
And what if that person will become innocent after 15 years? Do you have any answer of that?
And see the one
see, these
one
are
more
some cases. These are some cases of which you are talking about where court commits a bit of mistake. As I said,
same.
they are human, so there is a bit of
No,
mistakes that can
that's
be
correct.
appeared in the
Yeah, I
way.
agree.
You are just
Agree.
targeting that. You're just
From your
targeting
team,
that. It doesn't happen. I
from
will tell
your
you one
team, someone
example.
asks. I didn't ask. From my team, no one asks. From
I
your
will
team,
tell
someone
you
take
that
the from
it
take the
happens. It
Nirbhaya,
happens.
Rajasthan
It
ka 14 year
happens
old.
even after courts that a
You
person is committed for a crime after 10 years. He has
you
been
guys
given bail,
started.
a parole, but after 10 years, he has been committed for a crime. First, he has been not accused, but after 10 years, again, he has found guilty. So these type of here and there situations
So
occur,
no,
pro and
from your
cons.
team, to your team, the people are taking the exception cases. So we will no counter. No, that's a debate. If you will take the
No,
exception, we will give the
our
exception.
team is just saying
From
that our team is
okay,
saying that our team is just saying that the death penalty is appropriate for a crime which is as heinous as the corporal punishment should get. Our team is supporting that point.
So
you
you
will
agree with rehabilitation? So you agree
See.
now?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
agree
he's
with
When
agreeing.
did I say that?
rehabilitation?
When did I say
Then
that?
You just said that.
Rehabilitation
You
is
just said
punishment.
that. You
I
just
said that.
mentioned heinous crime. Okay, let me tell you about the
Dexter,
heinous
That
crime. The
I
difference
said
between
that
heinous crime and
I said that
other crimes.
rehabilitation is a crime.
Okay, Dexter, I'm asking a question.
Okay,
Okay,
fine. That
I'm asking a question. A very famous,
yeah,
renowned wrestler. At the heat of the moment, he was, beating some person. There were 10 to 15 members, and he didn't want deliberately take his life of that boy, but that person died. So
Okay,
right
I have
now
an
there were
answer of
around
it.
10 to 15% were there. Okay,
I have an
10 to
answer of it.
15% were there, but just a minute, buddy. Okay, let me complete. You're not following the rules. So if he become accused, okay, of the death penalty, okay, if he go for, he will be hanged. So is it correct to give him a death sentence
see, he has
if
signed
it
an
is meant?
application. All these fighters sign an application where they clearly mention that we are risking our lives for some money or some fame. If we are going to die, it is on our own conjecture and not because of somebody else. Everybody who is risking their life in medical profession as well, they sign an application that we
And
are
Dexter,
responsible for our own lives.
there is also one thing you know
No, it
about the
is
right
not
of
about
private
that.
defense. In the
Also, I
right
have
of
one
private
more
defense,
question.
What?
I have
in the
one more
right of
question.
private defense, a
Let's
person can
Unfathomable speak now. Yeah,
Yeah,
Unfathomable will go for it. Yeah.
yeah, I have one question. Like it's specifically to Dextro. Like when he was delivering his speech, he said that the punishment that should be given to a criminal should be in same proportion and should not be biased. Now, the meaning of bias is very simple, right? That it should not favor one side. Equal, it means like when we are not biased. So, just take an example: a person who has murdered someone in a very brutal manner, and the court is giving them a death penalty. Do you think that it's the right punishment that's been given? Because
Yeah,
no.
it
Why?
is.
Because no. Let me
Yes,
complete.
yes.
It's not
Like,
given.
let
It's
me
not
give an
given, right?
answer.
So I
You know,
haven't
like
completed. How
what?
can you give an answer
Okay,
before listening to my question?
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, complete. Yes.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, he's been brutally murdered. He'd been tortured to death, and then finally, when he was in his breathing his last breath, he was killed. And what you're doing? Simple execution. How much time it will take? Max to max
Okay,
five
okay.
minutes.
Answer
Is it
is that
equal? Is it
you are
biased?
thinking
No.
about.
See,
Is it
these are
biased?
Yeah,
human rights. These are human rights.
see,
When
see,
he
see.
committed a crime, when he raped somebody, he violated the human rights. And in the same way, the court is providing him with a set of rules that are being judged upon him. That is called as human rights. The whole game
Let
here
me
is
give you
about the human rights and the rights that you conquer in the society as a good citizen. That's what I
There
mentioned
is
in my
also
speech. That if you want some rights that should be held upon you, you should be a good citizen. If you have raped somebody, then you are not a good citizen. And that's why you are uplifted and you are not morally obligated for the rights. That's why court will give you that
You
kind
are
of.
again and again making a topic,
I have a simple
correct.
Okay,
question.
guys, we are
Just a
done.
You
minute.
are
I
always
have one
going
simple
on
Thanks.
question.
rehabilitation.
Emperor.
Guys,
Just
guys, mute
Say.
yourself.
I need to give a simple answer of a
Guys,
like
suffer.
why you
Let
are
me
seeing only the
explain it.
torture of that person? Why you are only
Guys,
seeing the torture of
Wait,
that
wait.
person?
Let host
can
speak.
you guys, yeah, can you guys hear me? So we are done with the time. So that was pretty much rough and tough. So now we will be moving towards the conclusion part. So one of the speakers from team A can come ahead and can conclude peacefully for 1 minute, and yeah, respectively one member from my team will be coming forward for same. So Claire, who is coming from your side for the conclusion?
Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thakur, would you like to come?
Let you decide.
Okay, then go ahead.
Okay, you have 1 minute. No facts, no assertion, no counterpoints, only conclusion. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I have a simple answer. Why you are only thinking about the torture of that person who is actually an accused? What about the that person who actually is a victim? why not considering that person is to be a human also? And what is the need of that, I mean, sections and the need of that capital punishment and life imprisonment in the book, in the things also, if you can't given that kind of a actual punishment to that person? And I'm also saying about this serious crime. In a serious crime it can be given, and you are saying about the in a serious crime we can also give it the retribution. What kind of a hypocrisy you are also saying it? Don't you want to think about it? We also want to change the society. How can you change the society? To give some kind of a lessons to the person who actually didn't want to do that kind of a thing. So what is the need of it? You can also tell it to me in a single way, and that is the sense which we are also getting it from this whole debate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I go?
okay. Yeah, unfathomable, you can go. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing that I would say, like what I prominently noticed was that our counterparts were always behind rehabilitation. They didn't completely understand the meaning of retribution. It doesn't mean that we are setting them free. The thing is that we are not just setting them free. We are giving them a chance to improve upon themselves within the four walls. And I think that just a simple life imprisonment won't do that. Because what you said that we want a change in the society. But are we getting that change in the society with this traditional methods that we are doing, the death penalty and life imprisonment? No, absolutely not. Because we have the live example. The cases are running high, no matter how much you are doing. But what we really need is change in the constitution. I wouldn't exactly say the constitution, but the methods and punishment. And I think that this change is very much important because we need to improvise with the time. And that is what retribution and rehabilitation is. It's not that we are setting them free. We aren't doing that. We are giving them the due punishment that they require, which cannot be done with a death penalty or a simple life imprisonment. They need to
Okay,
realize that what they
simple
did
answer.
is wrong, and it is a very good lesson that we'll be
You
giving
already took
through
1 minute.
retribution and life. Yeah.
You already took 1 more minute. I have a
No,
simple answer.
actually, Thakur,
How can you?
it was
Yeah.
conclusion, man. So yeah, it
Is
was
it
not
conclude?
counterpoint, it was conclusion. And yeah, we are pretty much done for now. So what do you think about that, Claire? You done?
Yeah, it was amazing. So, whosoever is right or wrong will be decided by the judge. You guys share their perspectives and opinions. People had doubts on social media. Why don't we have retribution in India? So, if you want to know your opinion, and that was the purpose of this debate. Thank you to all of you for joining us today in debate. You all did a wonderful job, and we all enhanced our knowledge. Hope so, you guys did. Now we will wait for the judge to announce the scores. So I request all of you to listen keenly. Our judge is here. Is he? Yeah,
Yeah,
so
let's
I
give
had
it.
a great time with all of you. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. So that was a great one, guys. So yeah, you guys are just overflowing with energy, and I know that many of the participants are still not fulfilled. You know, they still have many more points to say, but we are out of time, and we just need more time to announce the results as well, so it's not too late for other contestants. So sorry for
Uh,
that. And yeah,
actually the thing is, there were many topic and many points that we have to check again on the recording because many people, many participants were telling all these things, speaking at the same time. So we have to cut their points as well because they were speaking as a overlap, right? So we have to change, we have to check, and we have to give them point accordingly by listening who was the actual speaker and who was asking question, who was defending, and all those things we have to check, and we need time to listen this recording again. So it would be much better if we will announce the result tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
yeah,
So
that's
had we
fine.
done? Had we done?
Yeah, we are done for today. So now we are open to feedbacks from audience if they have any. Or else you guys can yeah, like go on with any other topic. Yeah, it's fine. So we are done for today. And thanks everyone for participating. And I would like to thank the audience as well for patient here.